Number 5, the Lufthansa Heist. Year, 1978. Location, John F. Kennedy International Airport, New York. On a cold December night in 1978, a group connected to organized crime carried out what was then the largest cash robbery in American history. The operation is widely associated with members and associates of the Lucchese crime family. Among the most notable figures linked to the heist were James "Jimmy the Gent" Burke, Henry Hill, and Thomas Desimone. The criminals targeted Lufthansa's cargo terminal and escaped with millions of dollars in cash and valuables. For a brief moment, it appeared the robbery had been executed perfectly. The aftermath, however, proved far less successful. Investigations intensified, witnesses were questioned, and several individuals connected to the operation eventually found themselves facing law enforcement scrutiny. Internal disputes among the criminals themselves also contributed to the collapse of the group's secrecy. The Lufthansa heist remains one of the most famous robberies in American history, and later inspired books and films that introduced the story to millions around the world. Firearm history. Criminal groups of that era frequently relied on rugged and reliable firearms. The weapon most fitting for our PUBG comparison is the AKM real-world history. The AK platform traces its origins to Soviet engineer Mikhail Kalashnikov. Known for reliability and simplicity, it became one of the most recognizable firearm designs ever created. PUBG equivalent, AKM, number 4. The Brinks-Mat Robbery Year, 1983. Location, London, England. In November 1983, a group of criminals broke into the Brinks-Mat warehouse near Heathrow Airport, expecting to find cash. Instead, they discovered something far more valuable: gold bullion. Among the principal perpetrators were Brian Robinson, Mickey McAvoy, and Anthony Black. What began as a robbery quickly transformed into one of the largest gold thefts in British history. Millions of pounds worth of gold disappeared overnight. Authorities launched extensive investigations, but the effects of the robbery stretched far beyond the warehouse itself. The stolen gold entered criminal networks and financial systems, creating consequences that would be felt for years. Many participants were eventually convicted, but the case remains one of Britain's most notorious criminal investigations. Firearm history. A suitable PUBG comparison for this entry is the M16A4. Real-world history. The M16 family emerged during the Cold War and became one of the most influential military rifle platforms of the 20th century. Its descendants continue serving around the world today. PUBG equivalent, M16A4. Number 3. The Banco Central Heist Year, 2005. Location, Fortaleza, Brazil. Most robbers stormed through doors. These robbers chose a different path. For months, a criminal organization secretly excavated a tunnel leading directly toward the vault of Banco Central in Fortaleza, Brazil. Investigators later connected the operation to individuals including Antonio Jusivan Alves dos Santos, commonly known by the nickname Alemão, along with numerous accomplices. The tunnel stretched dozens of meters beneath the city. When the plan was finally executed, the criminals escaped with tens of millions of dollars. The engineering involved in the operation shocked both investigators and the public. Despite numerous arrests in the years that followed, not all of the stolen money was ever recovered. To this day, it remains one of the most creative and ambitious robberies ever carried out. Firearm history for PUBG players. The closest comparison is the UMP-45. Real-world history. Developed by Heckler & Koch, the UMP series was designed as a lightweight and reliable submachine gun platform. Its compact design made it popular among various law enforcement and security units. PUBG equivalent, UMP-45 Search font. Number 2, the Great Train Robbery. Year, 1963, location, England. In August 1963, a carefully organized gang targeted a Royal Mail train carrying millions of pounds. Leading the operation was Bruce Reynolds, often described as the mastermind behind the robbery. Alongside him were Ronald Biggs, Charlie Wilson, Buster Edwards, and several other participants. Using careful planning and detailed preparation, the gang successfully stopped the train and escaped with a fortune. For a time, it seemed they had committed the perfect crime. But eventually investigators began closing in. Arrests followed, trials were conducted, and many of the gang members were captured. The Great Train Robbery became one of the most famous criminal cases in British history, and remains legendary decades later. Firearm history. Our PUBG comparison is the Kar98K real-world history. The Kar98K was developed in Germany and became one of the most recognized bolt-action rifles in history. Long after its military service ended, it remains one of the most famous rifles ever produced. PUBG equivalent, Kar98K. Number 1, the North Hollywood Robbery Year, 1997. Location, Los Angeles, California. On February 28, 1997, two heavily armed men entered a Bank of America branch in North Hollywood. The perpetrators were Larry Phillips Jr. and Emil Matasserianu. Their objective was simple: rob the bank and escape. Instead, they became involved in one of the most famous armed confrontations in modern American history. Following the robbery attempt, the pair engaged police officers in an extended gun battle that was broadcast across television networks. The images shocked viewers across the country. Unlike some robberies on this list, the operation ultimately failed. However, the aftermath proved historically significant. The incident exposed limitations in law enforcement equipment and accelerated changes in police tactics, training, and access to more effective firearms. Even today, the North Hollywood Shootout is studied by law enforcement agencies around the world. Firearm History for PUBG players. The closest equivalent is the M416. Real-world history, the M416 belongs to a family of rifles descended from Eugene Stoner's revolutionary AR platform concepts. Lightweight, accurate, and highly modular, these rifles became among the most influential firearm designs in modern history. PUBG equivalent, M416, ranking by historical significance. Most creative, Banco Central Heist. Most valuable, gold theft, Brinksmat Robbery. Most famous airport robbery, Lufthansa Heist. Most legendary British heist, Great Train Robbery. Most influential aftermath, North Hollywood Robbery. Conclusion: these robberies differed in method, scale, and outcome. Some succeeded, others failed, but all of them left a lasting mark on history. They changed investigations, influenced law enforcement, inspired films and books, and became stories that continue to fascinate people decades later. For PUBG players, they also offer an interesting way to connect real-world firearm history with the weapons we encounter on the virtual battlefield. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next documentary.